All right, CNT120, we're working on the Chap2Lab. We just got everything cabled up in our packet tracer file. And again, if you're not getting green link lights here, you might need to redo the connections. I'd go back to the physical tab. Let me back out of here. Let's go over to, here's our Harrisburg side over here. I'm going to go back to this building. First thing we want to check is make sure both your devices are cabled into the outlet box here. We then want to make sure there's 4 lines running over to horizontal cable runs running over to the closet. So I'm going to open the closet and I should see 4 of them come in here. Okay, if there's any of those missing, I'll go back a screen and add it. And then I need to make sure I have 4 patch cables here coming into the switch. And we just kept them organized 1 to 1, 2 to 2. If you were to use other ports, it would not affect your connectivity in this lab. So as long as I'm keeping, I have a connection, I'll be good. But if I'm missing any one, in here I would add the patch cable from the patch panel to the switch. Out here, if I'm missing one, I would just redo the connection from the box into the closet. Okay, and just make sure you have all of those cabled in, and then go back to your desktop on the PC and make sure under IP config, cycle this and make sure you do pick up an IP address. All right, and again, these do not have to match what's in my podcast. As long as you're getting a 192.168.10 number, this out here does not matter if it matches or not, but just make sure you are getting one. Once all of that's functioning, I'm going to back out here to, here's my 2 cities, and I'm going to go to logical, and I should see all my connections there. Once I have all that functioning, I'm going to gather proof that all my cabling is done and working, and my workstations are communicating on the network. So, excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open a command prompt on, I'll use the Harrisburg PC over here. So I'm going to open a Harrisburg PC, and again, I'll just make sure that it has an IP, good. I'll go back to the desktop, I'll open the command prompt, and I'm going to do an IP config, and then I'm going to do a ping. I'm going to do an IP config to see what IP address it's using. And what I see here is the 192.168.10.52. Again, yours does not need to match that. It might be 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Any of those are fine. Okay. But I have a valid IP, and that should allow me to then ping the web server over here. So I'm going to try to ping www.cnt.org, and it should resolve that and get a response back to me as a response from 30.4. Excellent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy those results and save them into a text file that we'll submit here at the end of the lab. So I'm going to open on my computer, I'm going to open Notepad, but it could be text editor on your computer. If you want to use Word, you can, but Notepad or text editor is a lot smaller file and easier to deal with. So I open a new Notepad file, and I'm going to put a note in here, CNT120, Chap2Lab, and I'll call this, the packet tracer portion, just so remember what these results are for, and I'll put a note here that this is my Harrisburg PC, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to highlight. What I really want is just this part and this part down here, but I can copy it all. That is fine. So I'm going to copy my command the whole way down through my results. I will do a right-click copy. Okay, right-click copy, and if I come over to my Notepad file and click in here, I should be able to do right-click paste, or I can do a Control V. Either one of those will work. And I'm going to quick double check that that is the address. Yeah, that's the address I saw there. I'm making sure that's there, and I have the successful ping. What I'll do now is I will save this file. I'll do Save As, and I'm going to go to, I need to find my CNT120 folder. There's my CNT120. Here's my Chap2Lab, and then I will call this CNT120 Chap2Lab, and I'll leave the .txt there. And I think in the directions, did I give you another name? I just say Chap2Lab, that's fine. If you want to, though, you could put in here, -pt portion or something like that. So this is the packet tracer portion of the lab, if that's helpful. All right, so I will save that there. And that is now my Harrisburg side. We need to also gather results from the Philly side. So I'm going to go over to the Philly office. I'm going to do literally the same thing. I will close that, and I'll go to the Philly office, Philly PC. And again, I'll do a quick double check to make sure it is set up to get an IP, and it is. And again, you'll notice this side of the network is the 30 network, and the DHCP server is handing out numbers starting at 100. So again, 100, 101, 102, 103, any one of those are fine, but these first three numbers should match because this is the 30 side of the network. I'm going to go here to the command prompt. Again, I will issue an IP config. Watch your typing. If you have a typo there, the command won't work, so make sure your typing is correct. And I'm getting 30.100. That matches. And again, I'm going to issue a ping to www.cnt.org. And I'm getting my successful results there. And I will copy that. All those results there. Again, I'll do a right-click copy. Oh, let me try that again. There we go. I'm going to do a right-click copy. Oh, stop it. There we go. There's my right-click copy. I'm going to go to my notepad. I'm going to put a note down here that this is my Philadelphia PC results. I'll right-click paste or Control V, and I'm going to make sure that I'm seeing the 3100 here. That way I don't accidentally paste the same the results from up here again. Excuse me. So there's my 30.100. And I will save that updated file. I'll save my updated file. And I probably even want to save my updated packet tracer file so I don't lose any of my progress. And then I'm just going to make sure I have all my pieces there, which I do. And this right here, this is the text file that would get submitted to the Dropbox on D2L for the packet tracer portion of the lab. So there's portion 1 of our lab. I'll come back in the next podcast and start working on the diagrams with you.